All right, so in 7.2, we've started working with these rational expressions, and we learned about simplifying them. We're gonna go through some the other things we're going to do with these rational expressions. So in this section, we're going to talk about multiplication and division. So let me show you some examples of how you multiply rational expressions. So here we go. We've got x minus 3 over x plus 5 times 2x plus 10 over x squared minus 9. All right, so multiplication. What you need to remember is how you multiply fractions, okay? Because these are fractions, and the rules for multiplying fractions are simply this. If you multiply a fraction, you just do top times top, bottom times bottom. So here's how it's going to look. I'm actually just going to do this. I'm actually going to take x minus 3 times 2x plus 10. That's top times top. And on the bottom, x plus 5 times x squared minus 9. So basically what I did is I just kind of extended that line right there, and so that they all became part of the same fraction. Now, here's what you do not want to do. Do not actually FOIL these out. We could FOIL that out, but we don't want to do that. All right? So don't actually FOIL these things out. You want to leave them in factored form as much as possible, because if you FOIL them, then you're just going to have to factor them, which undoes that FOILing, okay? So multiplication is pretty simple. You're just going to write top and top over top, bottom, and bottom, right? Now, you're not done, because that can't be our final answer unless it's simplified. So we have to simplify that if possible. Sometimes you will be able to. Remember how we simplify. You factor everything. So x minus 3 can't be factored, but 2x plus 10, I can factor out a 2, common factor of 2. Down here, x plus 5 can't be factored, but x squared minus 9 can be x plus 3, x minus 3. So I factor everything, and then I cancel like things. X plus 5, x plus 5, x minus 3, x minus 3. And so we end up with just a 2 over x plus 3. And that's multiplication. Now you may have missed it. Let me do another one, because it is actually quite a bit simpler than you might expect. So let's do this one. 4x plus 8 over 7x squared minus 14x, all of that times 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 over 9x squared minus 1. All right, so the multiplication is actually just accomplished by writing the top times the top on the top of the fraction over the bottom times the bottom. Right? And we've done the multiplication. Now we simplify by factoring first. So the 4x plus 8, we can factor out a 4. Then this second piece, we get a 3x and an x. And it looks like a minus 2 and a plus 1. That's the 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. Now let's move to the bottom. Looks like we've got a common factor of 7x, leaving an x minus 2. And then 9x squared minus 1 is a difference of squares with 3x minus 1, 3x plus 1. Everything has been factored. Now let's cancel what we can. Looks like an x minus 2 and an x minus 2, 3x plus 1 and a 3x plus 1. And we are done. So we get a final answer that looks like this. There it is. That's our final answer.